Let's have a look at level 2. Okay, in this case we're missing a leg, and I'm just going to rotate it like that. All right, so we want to find the length of the missing side of the triangle, and once again, this is our right angle. Okay, so directly across from the right angle is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the longest side of the right angle triangle. Okay, the two legs are always perpendicular to each other. And so this one's the hypotenuse. It's also the only side that doesn't contain a right angle, right? This side contains a right angle, that side contains a right angle. Okay, so these two are the legs, and this one's the hypotenuse. All right, so Pythagorean theorem. Well, the hypotenuse is C, and so I'm going to identify the legs as A and B, and the smaller leg I'm going to call A, and the larger leg I'm going to call B. Right? And Pythagorean theorem is that A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared, or C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. Now, in this case, I want to solve for b, right? So I want to get the b squared all alone. So if I subtract a squared from the right-hand side, it's gone, right? But it's not a balanced equation until I subtract a squared from the left-hand side as well. Okay, so what you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other. So I'm subtracting a squared from both sides, and we end up with c squared take away a squared on the left-hand side is equal to b squared on the right-hand side. All right, now we're going to fill in what we know. So I'm going to replace the c with 272 decimeters and the a with 128. All right, so I have 272 squared take away 128 squared is equal to b squared. And it's handy dandy calculator time. 272 squared take away 128 squared is equal to 57,600. All right, and then I want to get the b, like here we have that 57,600 is equal to b squared. I want to know what b is, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So the square root is 240. All right, so b is 240 decimeters. Now you have to ask yourself, does this make sense? Well, this is 272, right? And so the b has to be somewhere between 272 and 128. 240 falls right in there, okay? So it's not drastically shorter than the c, but it's in there. Okay, so that makes sense, 240. So 240 decimeters. Space dm. All right, and then we click on the check button to check to see if we're right.